Hey y'all, it's Bethany here. Welcome back to my channel, Bethany Brings Books. I am glad to be doing another video today. Actually doing a book tag today that I've been tagged in a couple of times. I have quite a few tags that I need to do, get caught up on. It's just kind of been a busy season here lately for me. But anyway, today we're going to be doing the Frances Hodgson Burnett book tag. So this tag was created by Kelly over at Kelly Reads a Lot. I'm going to dive into this. First of all, let me say I was tagged by Courtney from Courtney Reads and Dale, I believe that's how you say your name, Dale, from me and her have chatted. We've chatted on Goodreads and stuff quite a bit, and still I'm saying this like I think that's how you say your name, Dale. I hope it is. I don't know. I just know her channel name is Old American Spirit, and she has a really great channel. She's pretty new to BookTube, but me and her have chatted quite a bit, just over some shared the shared experience of grief, I guess I would say. Anyway, she's very sweet. I love her channel, and y'all need to go check her out and check Courtney out as well. I've talked about Courtney quite a bit on here already. So but Dale over at Old American Spirit, her and Courtney both tagged me, and finally getting around to doing it. So anyway, let's get to the questions. And also let me say that I've only read one book by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I've read The Secret Garden, and I love The Secret Garden. I have quite a few editions of it. Actually, I need to share that sometime. But I am planning to reread it this year at some point. It was one of the books that my kids chose for me to read this year. So I am planning to reread that one at some point, but I need to read more by her. I've not read anything else. Number 1, in A Little Princess, Sarah demonstrates the power of imagination. What book or books awakened your imagination? And immediately I thought about The Boxcar Children. These books just, as a kid, completely like awakened my imagination. I loved these books so much. I devoured them. And I remember distinctly like playing outside, like I was like surviving off the woods like the Boxcar Children did, you know, like in the very first one particularly. That one was like my favorite because, you know, that's when they go out and they live in the boxcar for a while, and they like were so, they used so much ingenuity to like, they like kept their food cold in the creek, and they found old broken dishes, and they lived in this boxcar, and they made all this stuff. And so reading them just made me be like, this is so, I just wanted to be like them. I thought it would be so fun to live out in the woods in a boxcar and to have to scrape together your things and just be creative in how you come up with your meals. And you know, they would like go pick berries and go find food, and they did all this scavenging. So they really inspired me to be very like imaginative and creative. And I remember just spending so many hours pretending like I was the Boxcar Children. And I even remember when we were young, my mom took us to see a play of the Boxcar Children, and that was fun. I really don't remember a ton about the play though. I just remember that I had fun going and seeing it. So definitely the Boxcar Children inspired me, and just awakened the imaginative side of me. Number 2, and I'm also going to say that all of these questions I am answering with kids books, or I would say like middle grade-ish. The last one is considered a children's classic, but or I think it's considered more like a young adult classic. You'll see when I get to it. But anyway, I just kind of had a theme, and so I decided to stick with it for all 3 questions, and especially considering that Frances Hodgson Burnett particularly wrote a lot of children's classics and children's literature. So I thought it would be fun to stick with that. Little Lord Fauntleroy is a book that demonstrates the kindness of a child. What book or books show kindness in a character, especially children? So actually, this is the one, number 2. This is the one that is not technically, I wouldn't call it a children's classic, but I do think it is. It was, when it was published, it was geared towards a younger audience, and that is Little Women. Now, Little Women, I feel like in here we just see so much kindness displayed. Of course, they have their grievances with each other, and they have their fights and their times when they're petty and selfish. Overall, they're very thoughtful and considerate, you know, and looking out for each other in different ways. And even as they go and help take care of others, even, you know, when Marmee goes and helps the poor lady and her children, and they also do things like that. So I feel like this just really displays kindness by younger characters, obviously definitely by Marmee, but also younger characters as we see through their growing up years. The March sisters are just they cultivate that attitude of compassion towards others, and this is one that I read this year and I highly recommend it. I loved it so much. Then the last question: The Secret Garden has a beautiful found family feel. What other books do you love that have a found family theme? This one, once I thought about this one, it really made sense. But I want to say the Mandy series. I think I would consider somewhat of a classic series especially among like the homeschool Christian community. I don't know when they were first published. I think in the 80s maybe. I think so. Anyway, I enjoyed these growing up. Now, I have not read all of them. I definitely have a goal of eventually reading all of them, but I did like these growing up, and there's very much a found family theme here. From the very first book, we have Mandy. Her father dies, and so she ends up traveling to find her uncle, and there's a whole side story behind all of that. Yeah. So it's a good series, and they're all actually like kind of like little mysteries, and they take place in the mountains of North Carolina, which I always loved on the turn of the century, and I just always thought this series was super fun, and it definitely has a found family element to it, very, very much. So those are the 3 that came to mind when I looked over this and read the prompts. Most of these have a lot of nostalgia for me. Little Women, of course, I just read that one this year, so not as much nostalgia as the other 2, but definitely a huge favorite now. Can't wait to reread it in the future. So there's the Frances Hodgson Burnett tag. I hope to read more by her in the future. And I just want to say thank you to Courtney and Dale for tagging me in this. And I am going to tag Miriam from Miriam Elizabeth Reads. And who else should I tag? I don't know who else has been tagging this. I'm just going to say Amanda from Book Lover Amanda. I don't know if she's been tagged in this. I don't know if she's ever done it. Amanda, Miriam, consider yourself tagged if you've already done this. If you've already been tagged, then you can just ignore this, but otherwise I would love to see your tags. And anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.